Okay, hello. This video is just me explaining what my historylistery.com webpage is all about if you're interested in it. It's hosted on GitHub and it is a very basic text-only site, so it doesn't cost me any money, so there's no advertising on it. It doesn't track anybody. It's just a database. I built this roughly 2 years ago, right after they announced that Trump had won the presidency, because I was filling out a scrapbook for something that I do with my husband every year. And so that's when I started logging some of the events with the Trump administration. But then I didn't want to mess up my scrapbook, so I started doing this. One of the reasons, there's several, but one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I felt overwhelmed, but I kind of wanted to keep track of everything, and I felt compelled to do so because of everything that's happening, and I find it really disheartening that there are people who would traumatize this country and do so many evil things and think that it's okay. So anyways, I just kind of felt like I needed to have some sense of control over it personally, and then it grew into something that looked kind of useful that maybe other people could use. I know that in the MAGA base there were and still are Trump supporters who keep saying that they want to flood the zone, and because of this tactic, there really has been a flood of things going on. It feels a little bit like a fever dream, and it's shocking. Anytime somebody asks me from my MAGA family members or my MAGA neighbors who are also Christian nationalists, whenever they ask me, well, what's so bad about Trump? And I give them the deer in the headlights look, not because I don't have a reason, but because where do I start? And maybe you've felt that way too. And it's become so overwhelming that even to bring up questions at town halls or to figure out what to write to a congressman has become a task because, well, where do we start? There's too much going on. So I built this file to kind of organize it, and I'll show you what I mean. I have this zoomed in quite a ways, so it probably looks a little weird, but below all the red letterings, and they're kind of self-explanatory things, I have all of these categories. There's about 26 of them, and sometimes I change that around a little bit, so you might see a new category in there, or you might see one missing because I merged it someplace else. But I also have subcategories in them. So let's get down to, this is one of my bigger ones, obviously, immigration, militarization, and terror. That has a drop down of subcategories. Every category has these two similar subcategories. It has 30-second questions. That one is a new project of mine where I am trying to make 30-second long questions that you can ask at a town hall. I'm using some research to make the questions valid, and I am using AI a little bit to try to word them better. Those are for people like me. If you are like me and you have an anxiety issue or you have a difficult time articulating, like you have all of these thoughts and feelings about something, but it's very hard for you to say it in a meaningful way, maybe this will help you. I'm really writing these things for me in case we have another town hall, which we rarely do have that kind of interface with our leadership here where I'm at, but just in case, I want questions ready so I can actually pull up my phone, I can go to this section in my webpage, and then I can ask my question. So that's what that is. A letter to Congress, that's another new project of mine. So that one is just a pre-written letter to Congress. It tells you in there how to contact Congress if you don't already know. Not everybody does, and that's totally okay. This is a learning process for all of us. And then it also has something really nice in there, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But then you'll see that I have all these other subcategories. For immigration, you see I have like asylum and visas, border wall and invasion, or the use of the word invasion, children, deport and disappear, detention, due process, excessive force, yada, 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 on and on and on. Well, if you select one of those subcategories, it's going to give you dates. Doesn't matter which date you select, it's all going to bring you into that subcategory. So it doesn't matter. The only purpose for the dates, and I don't know why I have a duplicate here, which it's, if you see errors like that, AI didn't build this. It's a human being who's doing it by herself and makes mistakes. So, but if you select one of these dates, let's do June of 2025. I've landed on the area of that file that is June 2025. I can scroll up and I can get times before that, or I can scroll down and I can get times after that. So like I said, it doesn't matter which date you select, it'll get you there. So the black text would be the event that happened that day. This date format reads July 16th, 2025. Underneath that would be a link somewhere that I got this information from. That's my source. Also, behind every source, there's a little grayed out archive. So if for some reason that page is no longer in existence, or it got moved or deleted or renamed, you can click the archive and it'll bring you back to the Wayback Machine, or wherever that page that I did once read that did exist is archived. Hopefully, theoretically, that's what it's supposed to do. It's been working so far, but okay. So there's all that. But I wanted to take you back to, I promised I would go back to it. All right, if you go back to Letter of Congress and click on it, you're gonna get a drop down like this. How to contact Congress, a sample letter, if you want to copy and paste it for your email, totally up to you. And chronology, you want chronology. So let's click on that and I'll show you what that is. So we just went into the category immigration and now we're in chronology in that one section. Maybe I should put this in a different subsection. For now, this is where it's at. It's under letters to Congress. Its whole purpose is not to give you the sources, but to give you all of the events in a timeline. And that would be any of the subcategories. It's all in this one spot. That's just to help jog your memory, so you can recall some of these events, remember all of this stuff, and keep track of it. You will notice too that I go back really far. Many of the things that I put in there that are way back in the 90s or even farther is an event that I may have felt had something to do with why we do the things we do now, or some warning signs about people's behavior. For example, this one here. It says Trump praised the Chinese government for their strength in paramilitary action during Tiananmen Square. Well, that's kind of a red flag to me about his personality, and so I felt that was important, so I put that in there. My search bar option is not great because it's not, I forget what they call that, but my husband tried to explain it to me. I don't understand it. But since I don't have my own, I don't know. It doesn't work great. It doesn't work right, but it's an unpaid site and that has something to do with it. I don't know, but so I'm sorry about that. I mean, I'm trying to get it to be helpful, but it's just kind of a moot point. The search bar is terrible. I can't fix it right now, and I'm not going to pay for this website, so I'm sorry. Yeah, if any of this on my website helps you, please feel free to use it. It's free. I don't know you're looking at it. This is a project for me, but I just wanted to share it. Also, links is pretty good too. So in links, there are a lot of things that a lot of websites that I wouldn't normally go to until I started doing all this research. And I thought some of this could be helpful. So I'm just collecting all of these links. People are sharing all that information, like good places to go and places where you can get involved. And I want to be a part of that. So I added my own links page as well. A lot of interesting stuff. Here's Project 2026. So yeah, they haven't done enough damage. They got to do another Project 2026 now to do some more damage, and that one's got some interesting stuff in it too. That's in the works. But a lot of this stuff is really, really useful. Most folks are going to be more interested in this get involved little area, but it's all alphabetized. So yeah, just feel free to look through it. I've done enough talking. I hope that this is helpful, and it's not going to hurt my feelings if you're not interested in it. That's not what this is about. This is just about being actively involved. Every small bit counts. I'm just trying to do my part, and then I know you're going to do yours, and we will get through this together.